and gentlemen, and welcome to the 19th and last press conference of the Superfriends. And here I would like to hand over to the 4 participants today, sitting in Kiruna, 160 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle. Please.
We are reporting live from the Swedish Institute of Space Physics in Kiruna. Together with students from all over the world, we are taking part in an Arctic science course offered from the Swedish government. We came here on Monday together with Moritz and his car. Our journey was very nice. We started at 6 o'clock in the morning. This is pretty early, but so we had sunshine and could see the beautiful landscape we are driving through. We have seen trees, snow, reindeers, the frozen sea, and the polar cycle. After 8 hours, we arrived in Kiruna and explored the city. In the afternoon, we walked through the early night and searched for northern lights, but all we could find were lots of clouds. On Tuesday, we had our first day at the university. We learned a lot about the institute and about northern lights, and we got a practical work for the next days. Look for aurora. So this is what we did on this evening, and we got some really nice pictures. Yesterday, we've been in Abisko, which is even north of Kiruna. After we had visited the scientific station and the Climate Impacts Research Center, we used the ski lift to get to the Aurora Sky Station, where we had a nice view. Today is party day. After some lectures, we went out and played in the snow. This was really fun. Tomorrow, on the last day of our course, we are visiting the ice hotel. This is not the end of our week in Kiruna, because on the weekend, the Superfriends will race over snowy mountains with snowmobiles, visit an old iron mine, and of course, watch out for more northern lights. Now you know what happened this week. Julian, would you be so nice to tell us something about the last weeks?
Already in the spring, still in Germany, we decided to celebrate Christmas this year all together down there in Umeå, since what other place would offer a bigger chance of having white Christmas than the north of Sweden? And the second reason, who would make a better gift? Your parents and relatives or the Superfriends? Easy to answer this question, right? The Superfriends, of course. So we celebrated Christmas here. The feast started at Christmas Eve with a big dinner. We prepared steaks and pepper sauce with country potatoes. After dinner, it was time for the presents. Each one of us got exactly what he always wished to have. On the 26th of December, the first 3 of our 10 guests we were going to have over New Year's Eve arrived, and we celebrated the arrival with a typical German food called Jägerschnitzel. So we had a nice Christmas, even though we were really disappointed about the weather. There was no snow in Umeå this year. As I mentioned earlier, we had quite a lot of guests, visitors. And what should we do? What else should we do than having a big party at New Year's Eve in one of our empty corridors in the abandoned Umeå? So we started a wild party with drinks, snacks, SingStar and some other games. A good opportunity to get rid of all the alcohol from Tallinn. Close to 12 we went outside to welcome the new year with a huge firework. Afterwards we continued the party inside until dawn. Well, that's all I wanted to tell you today. Christian, would you like to continue?
Yeah. As we have completed the year 2007 and come close to the end of our stay in Umeå, it is now time for a short summary of our best impressions here in Sweden. Because of the closeness to the sea, we couldn't wait to enjoy a trip to the beach, to take a bath and to paddle across the water. Sticking to the sea, some of us made an excursion to the offshore island Holmön, where we enjoyed a beautiful landscape, discovered some moose and observed bright stars in the sky. After an exhausting day, we usually relaxed at the close-by Nidada Lake by having barbecues, even in the snow, and searching for northern lights.
As long as the water temperature was above 0 degrees, we also experienced the wild sides of water by taking part in a very exciting rafting trip. Even though we know IKEA quite well from Germany, we visited one up here in Sweden, and we can say it really feels Swedish here. An old place of real men's work was also visited, the ironworks in Olofsfors.
Yeah, when we welcomed our first visitors from home, we wanted to introduce the famous Swedish moose to them, so we traveled to a moose farm where our guests could pet the animals. Another day, we drove to the inland to have a look at the rapids where we crossed many bridges and a huge dam.
We tried to hunt beavers at a beaver safari, but we only saw a swimming piece of wood in the river, called it beaver, and went back home. Even culture outside Sweden was considered. On our trip to Tallinn, we visited a pretty old town and had dinner like the old Hanseatic tradesmen. And after Christmas, we combined exploring the countryside and working with wild animals at a dog sledding trip. But what we will never forget are the people around us. None of these events would have been as nice as it was without the people. We have to thank all of you just for being there. Our corridor mates, our new friends from Germany and all over the world, and all the people from our department and the international office. You really made that last semester a time of pleasure, happiness, and without any sorrows at all. A time we will never forget. Thank you.
Thank you.
In our last conference, we had a big quiz and asked you to send us emails with the answers to all the questions. Now the winner is invited to come to our hometown Gießen to celebrate a beer drinking session with us for free. Due to the big amount of transmittals, we had to decide how to nominate a winner. First come, first serve. The quickest answer without any mistake should be awarded. Now I'd like to introduce the winner. Matthias Grimstein. Congratulations of all of us.
Only one more week is left for us up here in northern Sweden. Then it's time to leave. On our way home, we'll stay in Gothenburg for a weekend, then go to Copenhagen by train, and after 3 days we go on to our final Swedish destination, Stockholm. On the 29th we take the plane back to Germany. After a short stop in Berlin, we'll arrive in Frankfurt at 6:10. So if anybody is interested in picking us up, now you know. We all hope that meeting our friends at the airport and families also will help us to fight against the sadness after leaving Sweden. Only good memories are kept in our minds. And sooner or later, we will come back. Thank you for your attention for today and see you back in Germany.